Helping you bank. So you may ask the question, why have a bank account? So we're going to talk about 7 different reasons why people have bank accounts. The first one is to hold your money. So it's just a safe place that you can keep all your money so you don't have all this cash lying around. Another one is savings. Another one is to earn interest. It's also a good way to record keep. That way you could always look back on your bank statement and realize, oh, I was paid on these days, this is how much, I wrote this check. So it's a great way to keep records. It's like the bank doing it for you. It's convenient. I know when I do banking, I just at home go onto the computer and I can send money to people, I can buy things. It's actually very, very convenient. Access to banking services. So in order to purchase things, sometimes you need a check. So if you don't have a bank account, you can't write a check, is one good example, and it's a good reference. Now, there's different types of bank accounts that you can get. So it says list the main types of bank accounts. Well, one of them is a savings account. And savings accounts are meant for just that, saving money. You don't want to be taking money in and out a lot because there's usually transactions fees associated with it. So if you have a little bit of money you don't want to touch for a while, put in a savings account. The advantage is it's a little bit higher interest. Another type is called a checking account. So if you do want to have lots of transactions, that's the type you should have, or if you want to write a check. And the last is called combination. So it's kind of like a savings and checking account. So the question is, which type of account pays the highest interest? It would be the savings account. So you might think, well, why not always have a savings account? Well, because there's usually higher service fees with the savings account. So again, a savings account, if you just want to put the money there, let it collect a slightly higher interest, and you're not taking money in and out a lot. If you are, you want a checking account. It says, what is a joint account? So a joint account is when you have 2 or more people on the same account. So there's 2 parts to this. So it's an account opened by 2 or more people who can each put money into it. And then if you want to take money out, it depends on how you set it up. One person can do it, or you might need both people. All right, so 1 or more people may have to sign when taking money out. Next one says service plans and fees. So what is a service plan? Well, it's a fee that you pay to buy services provided by the bank. And then it says, how much do service plans usually cost? Well, you're looking between $2.50 to $4 per month. Making a deposit means putting money into your account. Making a withdrawal means taking money out of your account. So in order to cash a check, you must endorse it. And what that means is you have to sign the back of it. It says, why would someone want to write a check? Well, there's a couple different reasons why someone would want to write a check. One was to pay someone a large amount of money. Another way, it's an easy way to send money through the mail. You never want to put cash in the mail, but if you put a check in, if it falls into the wrong mailbox, they can't just take it. Okay, you can track a check. A lot of times, if you're renting an apartment or something, the person would want a whole bunch of post-dated checks so that every month they can just go to the bank and deposit that check. So it's not like something, it's convenient. You don't have to keep doing it over and over again. This next one says, when you write a check, there must be enough money in the money to cover it. Circle 1. So do you need to have enough money on the day the check is written or on the day the check is dated? And it's dated. So what we do sometimes is when we give someone a check, we put a date in the future. So maybe you want to put a date after the day you get paid so that you know there'll be enough money on that date, and they can't cash it until that date. It says, why do banks sometimes put a hold on checks? Well, to make sure the person or company actually has the money. All right, the next one says, what is an NSF? And you see this posted in stores sometimes, and it means non-sufficient funds. And what that means is the person does not have enough money to cash the check or to cover the check. It can also be called by a couple other names. Sometimes people say someone's written me a bad check or the check bounced. What happens if you write a bad check? Well, there's a fee charged. And you'll see that. I've seen that in stores, a little sign saying $20 charge for an NSF check. Well, that's because the bank charges them a fee. Trying to discourage people from doing it. And just because the person writes a bad check doesn't mean, oh wow, they got away with not paying something. They can hold the check or take the money out and you go into something called overdraft. So overdraft is they've taken money out of your account that you don't have the money there. So let's say you only had $10 in your account, you wrote a check for $100, so that means you now owe the bank $90. And banks will allow this in some accounts if money keeps going in and out and they realize, oh yeah, there is money going in, we just have to wait a couple days. So this is something that happens. It says, why is it important not to endorse a check you are cashing until you're in front of the teller? Well, because if you sign a check, anyone can cash it. the term direct deposit? Well, basically the money is put into your account electronically. So this is significantly more convenient. I remember before when I used to get paid by check, I had to somehow get to the bank, before the bank closed, and it was always difficult. It was very, very inconvenient for me. So once I got direct deposit, the money is automatically there. I don't have to worry about it. So it says, give 2 reasons why electronic banking has become so popular. It's so convenient. I could do my banking from my home. I just log the computer on at any time. I can pay bills. I could transfer money. It's a safe way of doing it, and it also saves time. What does ABM stand for? Well, there's ABM and ATM. One's a Canadian term, so it's automated banking machine, and that's what we say in Canada. And then ATM is automated teller machine, and that's in the States. Another thing we see a lot is this little logo here. So you'll see this on the back of your card, and what that means is that any automated banking machine or teller machine that you see that has that symbol, you can use your card on that machine. Now, in Canada, pretty much all the cards you can use on all the machines. The trouble you'll run into is maybe you're in the States and not all of them have the Internax symbol. I know I traveled through Australia and I really had to pay attention. Not all the machines had this, and I had to be very, very careful that I only found machines that had this little symbol. So it's really important if you go traveling. So if you have that logo, on your card, you can use it at that machine. With that Internax logo. All right, it says here, what is the advantage of using certified checks instead of personal checks? Well, certified check, you actually have to pay for these. So it's not like they just give you a checkbook. If you want a certified check, you go to the bank, there's a charge involved. But what it does is it guarantees the money is in the account. So next is blank blank ensures the bank will cash your checks even if you do not have sufficient funds in your account. And that's called overdraft protection. So let's say I'm a business and I constantly have money coming in and out, in and out, in and out, and I don't want to run into a scenario because money was delayed coming in for a day, that all of a sudden all my checks bounce. So I can talk to the bank and get something called overdraft protection, and it'll cash the checks even though I don't have the money there. So the next one says blank blank are used to have money withdrawals directly from your account to pay your bills, and that's pre-authorized payments. So for instance, my car insurance. My car insurance comes automatically out of my account twice a year. I don't even have to worry about it. Another one is church. You can do pre-authorized payments, so you don't have to worry about putting the envelope in the basket every week. They can be taken out automatically from your account, and you can do any of your bills this way, even your credit card bills. All right, last one on the page says, what is a GIC? GIC stands for Guaranteed Investment Certificate. And it allows you to save money at a slightly higher interest rate. And you may ask, why not always have a GIC? Well, there's a condition involved. You usually have to pick a time that you can't take the money out. So you say, all right, I want a GIC for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. And the longer the period of time, the higher the interest they're willing to give you.